Good evening. So glad to have you here this evening. My name is Todd Landers, and I'm the head of school here at Brazosport Christian School. Welcome to our 2020 graduation ceremony. This school year did not end as we had anticipated, but we are so grateful that our seniors did such a fantastic job in dealing with a difficult set of circumstances. It's with great excitement and joy and thanksgiving that I look out over this special group of students who are ready to follow the Lord's leading into the next phase of their lives. On behalf of our school and the senior class, I would like to thank you for coming and being a part of this evening's ceremonies. Our ceremony is a time of worship, praise, and celebration of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ for what He has done, what He is doing, and what He will bring to completion in the lives of these young people. We would like to ask at this time if you would turn off all your cell phones and electronic devices. Again, thank you and welcome to our graduation exercises. Please rise in honor of our graduates and remain standing as Abby Seth and Zach Shoemaker come forward to pray.
Please bow down or bow your heads and pray with us. Our Father, God, how wonderful are the works of your hands as we gather here today to celebrate a step forward into new places with new people and new experiences. Let us not forget the blessings that follow behind us. This school has given us a safe place to learn and a strong foundation to build upon. As we take this next step into your world, we thank you for our teachers who have so richly loved and cared for us even at our worst, and for our families who have cheered us on to the finish line and stood by our sides through the many bumps in the road.
On this day especially, we thank you for the friends that we found among our classmates, for all the jokes that we will laugh about in years to come, for the hardships and tears we have endured together side by side, and for your love which has been made evident through the relationships we will carry with us beyond these walls. Help us to love others well and seek your will earnestly all the days of our lives. In your name we pray, amen. You may be seated. And Ms. Collins, you're a great Bible teacher, but you're not so great as a minister. You're going to have to try harder than that.
We have chosen Isaiah 40, 30 to 31 as our class verse. It states, "Even youth grow tired and weary, and young men stumble and fall. But those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength. They will soar up wings like eagles. They will run and not grow weary. They will walk and not be faint."
The BCS class of 2020 has been called many things: busters, hooligans, and rascals, for example. In fact, if our small class of 11 had just one more student, it was decided that we would have been called the Dirty Dozen. It didn't take just 1 year for these names to evolve. The class of 2020 was stirring up trouble and having way too much fun from the beginning. Okay. Our story began in pre-K as Susanna Martinez and Josh Davis walked the halls of BCS. Not too many green lights were changed to red, but there's no doubt that the two started something special and were the roots of what our class is today. As kindergarten came, so did Abby Seth and Zach Shoemaker. The two new students lit up the classroom with creativity and a sense of companionship that will stick around until their last day at BCS.
The close-knit and small group grew up together, learning new things such as multiplication and basic rules of writing. People came and went, but these 4 years were the foundation of what will become the class of 2020. This small group had fun, but they were not quite, they didn't branch out until the rest of the class was established. After a few folders were signed and a few lunch detentions occurred, 5th grade finally rolled around and brought Luke Stack and Tyler Rogers with her. This duo drove a new level of competition doing dodgeball, kickball, and any other activity in gym class. Tyler and Luke brought a new sense of energy and enthusiasm to the group.
After graduating 6th grade and finally getting out of elementary school, the class of 2020 gained another very influential character at the start of 7th grade. Micah Cook has been known as the glue that brings the whole class together. His kindness has never worn off, and he has always been ready for a good time, no matter the cost. 8th grade arrived, and Ryan Lopez brought with him more fun and excitement. He was naturally selected as the class clown, making everyone laugh and disrupting many classes with his humor.
Ninth grade is when everything changed for the better. As the group began the journey into adulthood, MJ Waltz and Alex Jung arrived on scene as the new kids. But her outgoing and his friendly attitude left them feeling accepted and loved among their new friends. Finally, being the last of today's BCS graduating class of 2020, Alyssa Floss decided to tag along at the beginning of 10th grade. She is the last of us, and she sets us apart and makes us complete.
During the last few years, we have all known each other. We have grown closer as a class, as sidekicks and pranking and annoying. Our annoying teachers, we built the name the Busters and his voice by the class, in which we would constantly distract her from getting to the actual lesson, and rascals would probably develop during this college class. We have had many laughs and great memories, and they would not have been complete or as great if we were here. No, if we were without one of us. If I am speaking on behalf of all of us, there is no better version of this class that we could have asked for. This is the BCS class of 2020, the Rascals, and we'll be seeing you out in the real world very soon.
At this time, we would like to thank the sponsors who have been instrumental in giving us the result. They have given us their time generously executing fundraisers and events so that we can plan a great prom and graduation.
They have motivated and pushed us, and we will be forever grateful to them for their time and dedication. Thank you for showing us patience, kindness, and love. Mrs. Davis and Mrs. Listack, please come to the stage as we recognize you for all the hard work you have done.
At this time, we would like to recognize a group of people who have shaped our academic and spiritual
Thank you for teaching us how to love others and love God, not only through the word, but through example. Thank you for challenging us to constantly evaluate ourselves in light of the word of God, and also for teaching us how to stand firmly on His truth. You have helped us to have a stronger faith in God and in His word. In all of you teachers and ECS, the graduating class of 2020, thank you. The teachers, please stand.
There are a few more special people in each of our lives that we want to give a special thanks to: our parents. Thank you, moms and dads, for praying for us every day. Thank you for being so strict with the rules that we missed out on some moments that could have led us down the wrong path. For standing your ground and ready to go somewhere or do something that, in hindsight, could have introduced us to things that would jeopardize our future forever. Moms and dads, without you, we would be nowhere near the people we are, and the people we are still working on becoming. There aren't enough words in the world to express our appreciation. We love you.
Thanks for shoving us out of bed every morning. Thanks for always stocking the cupboards with sugary cereals and Pop-Tarts, so we would just have enough energy to push through first period and still be able to nap and study hall. Thanks for helping us. Thanks for helping with our homework in elementary school. We probably still would be in second grade if you hadn't made us work countless hours on our multiplication tables. Without you, we wouldn't be able to use the microwave. Now we can head off to college knowing we will always be able to eat a warm meal. Teachers and friends have taught us a lot over the last 18 years, but our moms and dads are the ones who really tackled the tough stuff.
Although we are the ones graduating, we know we did this together. Thank you for being the support that held us up as we learned to crawl and walk through life. When we stand up on the stage at graduation, we will be looking at you. We may be getting the diploma, but you all deserve the award for being the best parents we could ever hope for. To all of our parents, thank you for all you have done for us. We hope you know how much we love you, and we are truly blessed.
Parents, you are always your child's #1 teacher. We would now like to recognize the valedictorian and the salutatorian of the 2020 class. These two students have excelled academically while continuing continually exhibiting impeccable character and spiritual maturity. In the time that I've known them, I saw them set high goals and formulate a plan to achieve those goals. The Lord has blessed their determination, their diligence, consistency, and their perseverance. They have put their faith and trust in God to lead them in this journey. Tonight we honor the achievement of their goals. Our class salutatorian is Luke Listak. And our class valedictorian is Abby Seth. Would Luke please come forward?
Family, friends, faculty, and graduates, it is my pleasure to welcome you to the graduation ceremony for Brazosport Christian School's 2020 senior class. The senioritis that has built up within me and my fellow graduates can finally be released. We did it. We completed high school. It seems kind of crazy, but inside the next hour, we will be handed our diplomas, ending the first named chapter of our lives. As I was planning out what to say in my salutatorian speech, I couldn't help but think on some of the memories from my years at BCS. I was brought back to the undefeated season our junior high football team had in 8th grade, to the countless trips we took to Carolina Creek, to our 8th route projects in Miss Beasley's class, to the junior prom, to Mrs. Woodard's amazing Bible teaching, to the undying support for our varsity baseball team, and to constantly asking Mrs. Listak if we could take a class trip to the zoo. Through it all, I think we can say that we have learned and grown immensely during our high school years. The teachers and coaches that have taught us for these past 4 or 5, and for some of us even 14 years, have helped us develop into the men and women we are today. They have set us all up for success. But what does success really look like, you might ask? The Brazilian soccer player Pelé said it best. Success is no accident. It is hard work, perseverance, learning, studying, sacrifice, and most of all, love of what you are doing or learning to do. Some of us might enter the workforce immediately, while others of us might make it all the way through medical school. Regardless, our level of education, that will not determine if we are successful or not. If you take away nothing else from this graduation today, take away this. Do what you love. If you have a dream, pursue it wholeheartedly. The only person that can keep you from succeeding is yourself, so be persistent and never give up. And most importantly, trust God through it all. Acknowledge Him in all your ways, and He will direct your path. He will be there for you in the good times and the bad. Theodore Roosevelt once said, "Nothing in this world is worth having or worth doing unless it means effort, pain, difficulty." So fight through the hard times. The struggle makes the dream oh so worth it in the end. I have treasured my years at BCS, and the school has equipped me with the skills I need for life after high school. Without the constant support of my parents, teachers, and coaches, I would not be where I am today. I truly mean it when I say thank you for all that you've done. Lastly, I would like to say good luck to my fellow graduates. The Lord has plans for each and every one of you. I encourage you all to step out of the norm and glorify God through whatever profession or walk of life you end up in. Thank you everyone for your time, and enjoy the rest of the ceremony.
Abby. And thank you to everyone for coming out this evening. If I'm going to be honest, so the speech was written very last minute. I don't want this to be a boring speech that goes on and on, so I'm going to try my best to keep it short and sweet. I'm very grateful to be here today talking to all of you, especially regarding these crazy circumstances. I found it hard to write this speech because there have been so many valuable lessons that I've learned throughout all my years at BCS. But in the past few months, I have learned an incredibly important lesson to live by. I can sort of remember my last day of high school. It was the day before spring break, and as you can probably guess, most of us were very excited for the school day to be over and for spring break to finally begin. I started my last day of high school sleeping through my alarm. I arrived at school much later than usual with an empty stomach and a terrible attitude. I don't remember having that one last random talk with Mrs. Woodard. I don't remember pranking Mrs. Collins one last time, and I don't remember saying, "Have a great spring break" to anyone as I left school. All I remember is my sour attitude. I probably took a few quizzes, made small talk with Mrs. Listak, and tried to get out of doing any homework that was going to be given over break. I took school for granted. Who would have thought? I took opportunities for granted, probably saying, "Oh, it's fine, I can do it another time." And then Corona came, and life suddenly came to a halt. This is only a chapter in our lives, but it is a very important chapter. My advice for the class of 2020, and for anyone here today, would be to not take anything else for granted. Do not wait until the perfect time comes to do something, because again, the perfect time is not promised. Don't take your friends for granted, because good friends are hard to come by and will keep you grounded. Do not take your mentors or your teachers for granted, and take a minute to recognize just how much they've done for you. Be thankful for what you have and for all that you've been able to do. Be thankful that we have a God that promises us a life of joy and a life in which He is with us through all pain and suffering. Be prepared for the next thing, because we will always have more disasters. But these disasters will steer us in the right direction, so we will come back to what is truly important. It's easy to forget what really matters when all is well and we have no difficulties. We need to choose how to use the storms in our lives, because they can bring us closer to family, friends, responsibilities, and God if we let them. Sorry, it's all, my whole speech isn't printed here, but we need to remember that through all of this and through whatever is to come, our defender is bigger and we can always grow through each experience. We have to keep our heads up regardless of the circumstances. This was definitely not the end we expected, but we made the most of it anyways. So now, I challenge each of us to try our best to not take any day, person, or experience for granted. Again, thank you for coming out and being on.
At this time, we would like to present scholarships that have been awarded to the class of 2020. Our first presenter is Student Council President Isaiah Lee. He will be presenting the Jonathan Reckaway Scholarship sponsored by the BCS Student Council.
Good evening. I am Isaiah Lee, President of the Student Council. On behalf of the BCS Student Council, we would like to present the Jonathan Reckaway Memorial Scholarship. Jonathan passed away in 1996 after a long and courageous battle with cystic fibrosis. Throughout his 16 years, he exemplified a Christ-like character and a true servant's heart. He had a zest for life and inner strength and determination to persevere in spite of serious health problems. Teachers and former classmates alike remember him as a young man who always smiling and laughing, encouraging and uplifting others, and eagerly volunteering to help. James 1:12 states, "God blesses the people who patiently endure testing. Afterward, they will receive the crown of life that God has promised to those who love Him." Tonight we honor Jonathan's memory by awarding this scholarship to a young man who understands and appreciates the legacy left by Jonathan Reckaway in daily endeavors to live accordingly. We would like to award a scholarship in the amount of $250 to Tyler Dodge.
Next, we have the Brazosport Rotary Club. Is Doug Bramer here? All right, I'll go ahead and make that recognition. The Rotary Club would like to present their award to Luke Listak for $1,400. All right, next we have Pappy McDowell Scholarship. In honor of Sherman Pappy McDowell, we'll be honoring the graduating senior with that most exemplifies servant leadership. The verse that we've chosen is 1 John 3:18. My little children, let us not love in the word or in tongue, but in deed and in truth. Pappy served at BCS for 13 years as our maintenance supervisor. He served BCS and his Lord very well. He loved our students and he left a legacy of servant leadership to all who followed. This year's recipient in the amount of $750 is awarded to Zach Schmidt.
This is last minute, thank you, but Pappy meant a lot to me. He mentored me a lot, just things around the school, taught me a lot of things, and I think I'm probably the last students of classes to really know him a lot, and he was an awesome guy. He always finished the projects. Once he started, he did. He was a great guy, taught me a lot of things, and my parents taught me a lot of things, and got me to where I could get here today. I've just always done things with no reward, no gifts, and never really cared about it. Finally got what I need.
Next up, we have Mrs. Woodard.
So queen. Oh my god.
Good evening. You're supposed to say good evening back to me. I'm going to take my time because Miss Corona took her time by taking my students away from me. So I'm going to relish every moment that I have with these seniors. They have been totally a blessing to my life, and it's hard to let them go. It really, really is. But it has been such an honor to teach them these past 14, 15 years, it doesn't matter. But I am so very proud that they're here today, and we're here to celebrate them. So thank you so much. And Before I present this award to this most wonderful young man, what I enjoy about him is that we spent 3 9 weeks together, and he became our praise leader this year. So proud of him. And we would sit in the classroom, it was just he and I would tell him that his relationship with God would mean more than anything in his life. And I intend and I expect him to represent his mother and his father and his God and his word. I expect that from him. And so I told him, I asked him why did you choose to go to Dallas Baptist when your parents went to Texas A&M? And he spoke to me and said what he should have said. And that was, because that's where God has led me. We train them at this school to be the best citizens that they can be. No, they are not perfect, but we train them, we teach them, we love them, we nurture them with every bit of our fiber. And no, they're not perfect, but they are the ones that God has ordained for the class of 2020. I am so grateful to God that I've had an opportunity to watch God raise up this young man to be all that he is supposed to be. This is just the beginning of your life. And I'm expecting you to call home to your teachers, your mom, and your dad. Don't get too much pride that you can't come call home and say, I'm struggling. It's okay to struggle as long as Jesus is in the struggle with you. So tonight, on behalf of Dallas Baptist University, I would like to present to Luke Listak, whom I call Misty, who always shares Christian music with me. I would like to award you $56,000 from Dallas Baptist University.
Yes, ma'am.
Good evening. I was looking at the brochure there and found out I had to follow this word. I was wondering what I did wrong. I can't follow this word, it's impossible. But, I miss you guys, the seniors. You all do well, I know you will. This person I'm getting an award to tonight, I'm the new kid on the block. I've been around a year and a half. And I've had a wonderful opportunity to spend many moments with this individual. Luke Listak. Here you are. He has been our spiritual leader in chapel this year. He'd give the shirt off his back. The man has an impeccable character. He has a very, very strong faith in God, and it's been my honor to be able to know you. I know you will do well in anything you choose to do. And so I want to congratulate him tonight. This is an award from the Texas Dow Employees Credit Union. It's for the amount of $1,500.
Luke, you might as well just go ahead and walk around. Good evening, I'm Scott Sykes. I'm the student pastor at First Baptist Church St. Jackson. Graduates, congratulations. We're so proud of you guys. I know it's a little bit but y'all made it through and you're ready to go on to the next chapter. And just to celebrate you guys, we brought a fan club to get rowdy with y'all, and we are going to bring it out to the career. So we're looking forward to doing that. But I get the privilege and the honor of awarding a scholarship to Luke, just as we mentioned, all across the board, outstanding young man, one that has just encouraged me and spurred me on in my own spiritual walk with late nights by fires, without a creed, whatever it is it's looking like. But just extremely proud of the man and looking forward to what's going to go on. So on behalf of First Baptist Church, Lady Jackson, we'd like to award you a Matt Scholarship of $2,000.
Good evening. My name is Becky Polly, and I've had the privilege of teaching all of these kids because I have them in speech, and definitely speech last year. But anyway, when Tyler Dodge came to BCS, he was in 5th grade, and I had a small group of them that I carried with me for the next 7 years. And I gave him an assignment to write a paper about a hero or somebody he truly looked up to. And he wrote about Tim Tebow. And I'll never forget it. I still have the paper. And he wrote all the attributes of Tim Tebow that he appreciated. And it's been my pleasure to see him emulate those characteristics throughout the years. And so I'm very, very proud of him. And I would like to issue this scholarship. It's the WISE Scholarship from Brazosport College in the amount of $2,000.
Good evening. I am Dr. Terry Skinner, and I'm also Josh Davis's auntie, so I've had the joy of watching him grow up for a very, very long time. I'm also a graduate of Baylor University, so I'm very excited to see Josh become a Baylor Bear. I'm also very honored to present Josh with a scholarship totaling $21,000 from Baylor University. So congratulations, Josh.
Now I would like to present to Abigail Seth the tuition waiver to the public colleges and universities of Texas. As the valedictorian of our class, she is awarded that tuition waiver, so basically she can choose to go wherever she would like, which she's chosen Texas A&M, is that correct? And she will get to go tuition-free because of her hard work. Now we'll have Mrs. Collins.
Good evening. It is very good to be here to celebrate the accomplishment of these students. Those of us who have taught them would like to award at this time character traits. These are attributes of character and nature that we see God developing in each senior that reflect in part the wholeness of who we were meant to be. The seniors 2020 have been rather a quiet class. However, still waters run deep, and I guess you can tell they're full of beans. But they have been and are a joy, both as a class and as individuals. So let's begin. Alex Jean. This faithful and faith-filled believer is a self-starter who demonstrates courtesy to all and great deference to his family and to any authority God places over him. He's been a wonderful addition to our school community. Alex keeps working hard even when things get difficult. He has a wicked good sense of humor and a genuine humility that sees the worth in others. Alex literally has been moved pillar to post in the years he's been here, yet he never complained. Alex's quality, which will stand him in good stead throughout the challenges of life, is flexibility, not setting my affections or will on ideas or plans which could be changed by God or others. 1 Corinthians 9:22-23. I have become all things to all people, that by all my means I might win some. I do it all for the sake of the gospel, that I might share in its blessings. Zachary Shoemaker, known to most as Shoe, his very fine young name, is someone who puts others before himself. He's willing to help anyone at any time. Since Zach served as the school's trainer, cheerleader, general gopher, and sometime medic, one student remarked, there isn't anyone at BCS who doesn't appreciate Zach. True that. He also serves our community as the radio operator during natural disasters. One aspect of God's agape love is Zach's essence of availability, a willingness to set aside my own plans and extend myself as God directs for the well-being of others. Isaiah 6:8. And I heard the voice of the Lord saying, whom shall I send? Who will go for us? Then I said, here am I, send me. Ryan Lopez. One student remarked of Ryan that he brings out the best in people. I think often it's because he chooses to make the best of any situation he is in. He has a carefree mentality, and as his teachers, we appreciated his utter lack of guile. His transparency about who he is allowed Ryan to ask questions when he didn't understand something, and he also willingly engaged in the activities, if not always the work, of the day. You know where you stand with Ryan, for he is filled with that admirable trait of frankness, the quality of being open, honest, and direct, expressing my true feelings and opinions. Proverbs 28:23. In the end, people appreciate frankness far more than flattery. Tyler Dodge. This amazing young man is known for his fierceness on the sports field
and the respect and kindness he offers off it. His classmates also appreciate his jokes, especially the chicken joke, which I still don't get. They also appreciate his determination to finish the task, whatever it is, and do it well. We teachers also admire his dogged work ethic and would have awarded him endurance. However, we look deeper into the reason for that enduring work ethic and saw aspiration, the desire and will to do and be my best, not in selfish competition or vain ambition, but to strive for a standard of excellence that reflects the glory of Christ. Isaiah 32:8, the noble make noble plans, and by noble deeds they stand. Josh Davis. This Eagle Scout enjoys camping and the outdoors. A quick-witted and witty technophile, Josh shows a tolerance for others and accepts people as they are, which kept him out of a lot of the drama that is often high school. A true introvert. I think Josh was probably the only person I know who actually enjoyed quarantine. However, he can and does connect with others well. He even teaches Sunday school to first graders gracefully. Whereas pride sees no further than its own ego or goals, Josh exhibits its opposite, humility. The unshakable strength that results from seeing myself as God sees me, and which is able to reach into the kingdom of heaven through the power and favor of God. Proverbs 22:4. The reward for humility and fear of the Lord is riches and honor and life. Micah Cook, the man, the myth, the legend. Everyone considers this delightfully amiable and laid-back young man a friend because he makes all people feel welcome. Handing out his coveted high fives to classmates, underclassmen, and teachers alike, Micah's cheerful greetings can be heard all the way down the hall. Though not necessarily as a scholar, Micah entered every class every day with a smile and an attitude of happy to be here. Micah is made of enthusiasm, bringing buoyancy and liveliness as I express with my spirit the joy of my soul. Psalm 16:5-6. Lord, you alone are my inheritance, my cup of blessing. You guard all that is mine. The land you have given me is a pleasant land. What a wonderful inheritance. They scare me. Alyssa Kloss. This lovely sprite with a contagious laugh has a sweetness of spirit and is friendly to all. She stepped up when her school needed her and played volleyball, basketball, and would have played softball if we'd had a season. Alyssa has faced struggles, but always gets back up and doesn't let opposition stop her. We believe that when Alyssa knows her true worth, God will take her far. We have seen in Alyssa that Holy Spirit empowered attribute by which we never look more like Christ, forgiveness, clearing the record of those who have wronged me and allowing God to love them through me to produce whole and harmonious relationships. Ephesians 4:32. Be kind to each other, tender-hearted, forgiving one another, just as God, through Christ, has forgiven you. Mary Jo Waltz, better known as MJ. This bright-eyed munchkin is feisty, fun, and free-spirited. The air crackles around her. She has so much positivity. She brings that upbeat spirit into class as well. Now, as a classmate, MJ is determinedly loyal, and whether a friend needs comfort or accountability, she will give it. She's been a staunch supporter at every BCS sporting event. Both students and faculty enjoy the Christ-like quality of joyfulness, the spontaneous enthusiasm I demonstrate because my God offers hope and promise. Psalm 16, 8 and 9. I know the Lord is always with me. No wonder my heart is filled with joy. Yesenia Martinez. This delightful young woman is probably the most reserved one of this bunch, and that quiet, deferent exterior covers a gentleness and tenderness of heart that expresses itself through her ability to listen to others and to hear without judging. Yesenia is a teacher's dream student, one who shows up ready to participate, even when it takes her far outside her comfort zone. We see in her the winsome characteristic of meekness, yielding my personal rights and expectations to God and others without compromising what is good, right, and true. Philippians 2, 12 and 13. Putting into action God's saving work in my life, obeying God with deep reverence and fear. For God is working in me, giving me the desire to obey Him and the power to do what pleases Him. Luke Lissack. One student remarked that Luke is the definition of a leader, someone who helps others make right decisions. He's gifted in any number of ways and uses all of them to benefit those around him. He used his beautiful voice to lead in chapel worship. Luke's love for the Lord shines from him, inspiring others to ground themselves as well as grow in their own faith journeys. Once confident in himself and his abilities, Luke now resonates with God confidence. Certain my life has meaning now and forever, I live with the assurance that God has given me talents and the ability to use them for and to the praise of His glory. Job 19:25. But as for me, I know that my Redeemer lives, and that He will stand upon the earth at last. And after my body has decayed, yet in my body, I will see God. Abigail Seth. This beautiful young woman is known for both her sweetness and her smarts. Make no mistake, however, she's a crafty little soul, able to scare the dickens out of those who wield the red pen. After being pulled off the ceiling, we cannot help but laugh at her cleverness. Motivated to excel, Abby sets her face like flint to achieve her goals. Her loving soul keeps her determination from ever coming at the expense of another's feelings or need. We celebrate Abby's marvelous gift of self-discipline. To guard the gateway of myself, letting in what is good, refusing entrance to what would harm, so that I might become in all things like Christ. 2 Peter 1:6. Knowing God leads to self-control. Self-control leads to patient endurance, and patient endurance leads to godliness. Before I leave the stage, I would like to address these beloved Yahoos one last time. What I have to share with you is two terms, one scene, and an exhortation. The first term is adjacent possible. It's an economics term that refers to a kind of shadow future, hovering on the edges of the present. It's the map of all the ways in which the present can reinvent itself to affect future outcome. You are living in a time of adjacent possible. The second term is one I've shared with you before. It's the word truth as it was used by the Romans in Jesus' day. It actually carried three meanings. Truth was a term used for when a wrestler had his hands around the throat of his opponent. It also meant to flay or skin, as to skin an animal's hide. The third meaning was when the criminal was paraded in public, a dagger was tied to his throat with the point of the blade underneath his chin so he could not look down or away. The scene. Let me set the stage. It's May of 1939. Great Britain is facing the most powerful standing army in the world, a German juggernaut that has rampaged its way across Europe and is now barely 20 miles from England's shores. Britain's own army of 300,000 men is stranded on the beaches of Dunkirk, surrounded by Hitler's troops. England's battle-weary Air Force faces overwhelming odds against a battle-hardened Luftwaffe. Invasion is imminent, and England's leaders see no way to fight, let alone defeat, this enemy, and hope only that appeasement will gain for the British people at least the appearance of peace. Churchill, England's bulldog, knows the futility of peace talks, and in England's darkest hour, stands before Parliament to give one of the most powerful, most motivating speeches in all of history. He speaks, offering these leaders an adjacent possible: resistance. The members of his own party are against him, and almost no one thinks England can win or even survive as a nation. But after listening to his words, Parliament is moved to full support for the war effort. He persuades men who were fiercely determined to avoid war to embrace resistance with all its risks and costs. At the close of Churchill's speech, with the entire body on its feet and cheering, one member of Parliament turns to Lord Halifax, who wanted peace at almost any price, and asks him, "What just happened?" Lord Halifax responds, "He mobilized the English language and sent it into battle." Churchill told them the truth. It would almost certainly cost them everything, but he offered them a manifesto on the need for courage, tenacity, sacrifice, and will. He spoke the truth, for it was and is true that one cannot appease a bully. No way to share control of a kingdom. He used the power of words to guide, encourage, move, and persuade. His words of truth forced them to look at what surrender would really mean. It pierced their self-protective hides and it shook them by the throat. The adjacent possible was starkly contrasted. From their present position, they could choose either the false peace of bondage to an evil regime, or they could choose resistance and fight for a victory that would ensure their liberty and a peace that was genuine. You too are part of a kingdom at war. Just as Churchill never promised his people safety or certainty, neither does Jesus. You live in a time of great uncertainty, where nothing seems settled or predictable, but you also live with the adjacent possible. In these unprecedented times, hovering on the edges of today is the potential to reinvent your present in ways that produce hope and a future. You might be facing an uncertain future, but you do so surrounded by the faithfulness of God, the one whose adjacent possible is always the better way. Life, dear hearts, functions on truth. Truth is woven into the very fabric of the universe. It exists whether we like it or not, whether we acknowledge it or not. And we are designed to understand what is true. God gives us his word, his powerful, life-breathing words to ground us in truth and to guide us in the way we should go. His words will remind you of who you are, whose you are, and what kingdom you belong to. I exhort you, do not seek peace with your enemy, for it is not peace he intends, but domination. He will lie to you with false promises of a happy coexistence, but it is not possible to share the kingdom. Instead, use God's word. Let it grab you by the throat when anxiety strikes. Let it flame your conscience when you're tempted to lay down your arms and yield. Let it force you to look God in the face and see what is true. And let it invigorate you to fight for what is right and good, to sacrifice what needs to go in your life in order to gain victory. Let it fill you with courage and the will to persevere. Christianity is not a spectator sport, for there is nothing remotely passive about the kingdom of God. Jesus did not die to make your life safe or comfortable, or so that you could shelter in place with the enemy. He died to make you dangerous to the enemy. Mobilize his word and let it send you into battle. I love you. God bless you.
Seniors, it is time that has come to present to you the symbol that represents the completed course of study required by Brazosport Christian School, your diplomas. In addition, we will be presenting you a devotional as a gift from the Board of Directors, the faculty, and the staff. We challenge you one last time to continue to grow spiritually as you grow intellectually and emotionally. Hide God's word in your heart by the daily reading and studying his word. Spend time in his presence daily. Let him be your strength, your fortress, your guide, your life. Sherry Barnhart, our board president, is here to assist in the presentation of the diplomas. Seniors, you may take your place. Abigail Lauren Seth.
The pioneer. All right, here we go.
Luke Peter Listak. Yesenia Naomi Martinez.
Yes, Queen.
Mary Jo Arlene Wallace. Alyssa Lynn Floss.
I know all the tricks. There we go.
Go, Alyssa.
Micah James Cook.
Thank you, Skylar.
Joshua Brian Davis.
Way to go, JD.
Tyler William Dodge.
Yeah.
I love you, Dodge.
Ryan Renee Lopez. Zachary Evan Shooting.
All right, Zach. Yeah, I love you, Shuby.
Alex Jones.
I got it. Professional tricks, special problems. All right, here we go. Thanks. I love you, Mrs. Zinn.
You have done it.
Yep.
Congratulations again from all of us here at ECS. As you leave us, remember that we love you and we will continue to lift you up in prayer. When you leave, that doesn't really mean to us that you will die. Please pray for us as well and for the students that we will continue to train them. Remember that Jesus said to love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your mind, and love your neighbor as yourself. May the Lord richly bless you. As we dismiss here in just a few moments, I would like to let everyone know that the seniors have some tables out here, that they have a few snacks on. Feel free to gather some of that. We have some water on the table out here. And so it's not a full reception, but please be sure to go by the table and check out the boards that they have ready for display. At this time, will all the graduates rise and face the audience. Before I present them to you, I would like to pray over them one more time and close in prayer. Jesus, we are grateful for these students. Lord, these students that you have made in your image, they are so precious. And you have made them as such. And Lord, I pray that they will always, for all their days, recognize the significance of who they are in Jesus Christ. And Lord, I pray that you will be the center of their lives. Lord, I am anxious to see how they will grow and how they will learn and how they will prosper. And Lord, I am grateful for knowing each one of them. Lord, I pray that you will let them go out on that battlefield and that they will battle on behalf of the Lord Jesus Christ. For it's in his name we pray. Amen. Amen. Graduates, please move your tassels.
I can't. Okay. There we go.
There. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the graduates of Brazosport Christian School, class of 2020. You are dismissed. Thank you.